Hey guys, what's up? Your boy Duck here, reviving this dead YouTube channel to bring you the Riverside Draft League draft analysis for the Farfetch'd Flyers, my team. Before I begin, I just want to apologize for any echoey audio or other audio issues. I recently moved into a new house and don't have any furniture yet, so it's going to be pretty echoey. But anyway, you can see my team on screen right now, and I'm just going to go over, talk about why I made each pick and, what I hope to do with this team. So, whenever I go to draft a team, I normally start with a couple Pokemon in mind that I want to use. And that's what I did for this team. Those Pokemon being Mega Kangaskhan, Togekiss, and Chesnaught. Mega Kangaskhan is a Pokemon that's banned in every other draft league I've ever been in. So having it be unbanned in this league, I thought would be a really cool chance to kind of test it out. It has really good coverage, amazing stats. It hits so hard with Parental Bond. And I'm just really looking forward to, seeing how it can perform. It also has good support options other than just the obvious offensive tools it has. Like it has Wish and Thunder Wave and a myriad of options that it can do to trip people up who might just be expecting a standard physically offensive set each week. It also has Workup to be able to run special if I need that niche filled. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Mega Kangaskhan. Togekiss is a Pokemon I haven't used before in Draft League. I've always been kind of underwhelmed with its stats, so I haven't seen it as something that's super powerful, but it actually does have a lot of great options in Thunder Wave, Air Slash shenanigans to try to get lots of flinches off, Nasty Plot to boost its special attack so that I can break through walls, and just has amazing coverage and is overall a great Pokemon. I also made it one of my Z Crystal users, so it can break through walls that way with Z Air Slashes, Z Fire Blast, Shadow Ball if I need a strong Ghost type move. And it's just overall, I'm really looking forward to seeing how it'll play out. It has great typing and a really strong defensive stats as well as good offenses. Its speed tier isn't the best, but it's still pretty usable. And it's actually pretty good for a Pokemon that's going to be run defensively a lot of times. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Togekiss can work as well. Chesnaught is actually a Pokemon I decided to draft around kind of later in the development of this team. It's a Pokemon I really like, but I typically don't end up drafting because I end up with another fighting type or another grass type that I just like more. But I feel like Chesnaught has some great potential, being an amazingly physical defensive Pokemon with access to lots of utility moves like Spikes, Leech Seed, Spiky Shield, as well as some really good offensive options like Belly Drum and Drain Punch, and just strong moves like Dragon Claw, Wood Hammer, Hammer Arm. It can just break through a lot of Pokemon as well as be defensive, so it'll be kind of easy to trip opponents up with not knowing what set I'm going to bring. So that's why I'm looking forward to using these three Mons in particular and why I drafted my team around them. Next up, moving on to the Pokemon I drafted to complement these Pokemon, we have my Fairy Dragon Steel Core consisting of Togekiss, Registeel, and Latios. I feel like Registeel really complemented Togekiss, just bringing that really strong defensive pure steel typing to handle poison types, ice types, rock types, and Togekiss also complements Regirock, being able to handle fighting type moves really well as being immune to ground type moves. Latios also comes in to patch up those couple of weaknesses with an immunity to ground to complement Registeel, as well as a resistance to electric type to help out with Togekiss, and a resistance to fire types to help Registeel. It's a standard Fairy Dragon Steel covering each other's weaknesses, just being a great core, consisting of some great Pokemon. I also like how Latios has access to Wish and Healing Wish, since Registeel doesn't get reliable recovery of its own. And that can really help bolster those super strong defenses that Registeel is packing. Now I also can kind of pair Mega Kangaskhan in with this core, because it also complements the typings really well, as well as bringing some really strong physical offense. Because this core is kind of bulky, and whatever offense is on there is mostly on the special side. So Mega Kangaskhan kind of works as a glue to add a physically offensive element to it, as well as being able to take Shadow Balls that Latios can't handle and neither Togekiss or Registeel resist. And its fighting weakness is covered beautifully by Togekiss and Latios. So it's just overall, it really works with the core, and is overall just a great pair with these three Pokemon. Next up, to complement Chesnaught, we got my Fire, Water, Grass core of Chestnut, Rotomwash, and Incineroar. Chestnut and Rotomwash pair really, really well together, with Rotomwash being able to handle those flying type moves that Chestnut is deadly afraid of. It also does the standard role of a water type complementing a grass type, being able to take fire type moves. And it's just overall a fantastic pairing in my opinion. I also bring a special attacker to complement Chestnut's really good physical moves. And it's a great support mon as well, having access to Defog, Volt Switch, and Will-O-Wisp and Pain Split, just being able to really annoy opponents. Only having one weakness in Grass, which both Incineroar and Chestnut pair with pretty well. Incineroar is there to handle Psychic type moves that Chestnut is weak to and Rotom doesn't resist. It also is a Fire type, so completes the core, and pairs really well with Rotom, forming a pretty good pivot core, with Rotomwash being able to Volt Switch in and out and take a lot of hits, and Incineroar with that Intimidate and U-turn. So they pair really well together, in my opinion. Next up, to kind of fill out the holes this team might have, we got Quagsire, Crobat, and Gengar. Quagsire, I wanted a ground type that wasn't weak to ice because I saw that my team was developing quite a bit of an ice weakness. So Quagsire, packing that secondary water type, being able to sponge up ice type hits to an extent. It's still neutral to them, but at least it's not weak. And having reliable recovery in the move Recover, and being an unaware Pokemon, that just allows it to stop setup sweepers, and I feel just overall it'll be a great addition to the team. Then we have Gengar, because I noticed I was lacking a Ghost type, and I really, I had a lot of points towards the end of my draft, so I figured why not spend it on another really heavy hitter, because I feel like a lot of my heavy hitters were leaning a bit more towards the physical side with Mega Kangaskhan, Incineroar, and Chestnut. And while I still had Togekiss and Latios, I felt like those Pokemon would be running defensive a lot of times. So a strong special sweeper like Gengar really complements that. Next up we got Crobat, who I drafted primarily for its amazing speed tier of 130. It's just so fast, and it's really what I thought my team could use to not have to fear some of those faster threats. Make some Pokemon run timid natures, and just be able to have a Pokemon that can come in late game, sweep through a team, clean up threats. Having access to stall breaking options like Taunt, Super Fang, and even Nasty Plot if I want to run a special set. It's just a really good Pokemon that can really clean up teams and provide a lot of utility. It also has pretty decent bulk for as fast and hard hitting as it is, so I'm really happy with picking up Crobat. So next up, that just leaves us with a couple more Pokemon in Regirock and Butterfree. Regirock, I honestly just kind of draft because I wanted to use Regirock. It has great stats on paper with 200 physical defense and a pretty modest 100 special defense, so it can definitely sponge up a lot of hits, especially paired with an Assault Vest. I feel like it could just have a lot of options in that regard and provide a good physical defensive Pokemon for my team, as well as it's just a cool Pokemon that I like and haven't had the opportunity to use before. Butterfree I drafted for the sole reason that I had 1 point left on my draft. I had 1 point, and this draft allowed teams of 12 Pokemon, so I thought, hey, why not? Butterfree, you're on the team. It's also a Z Crystal user. I didn't mention this earlier. It was Gengar is another Z Crystal user. Gengar, Togekiss, and Butterfree are my 3 Z Crystal users. So Butterfree offers a third Z user that I can trip up opponents with. It costed nothing, it's really just a value pick. And so why not? Why not come on to the team, Butterfree? It's another flying type, which obviously adds to my ice weakness. But it also adds to the theme of being the Farfetch'd Flyers. We got a lot of Pokemon in the air with, I think it's 3 flying types and 2 levitate Pokemon. So, it's kind of fun. Final thoughts on the team? I'm really happy with how it turned out. Obviously, there is an ice weakness that I'm pretty afraid of. But I think we do have some good options to handle it with Incineroar and Rotomwash, as well as Pokemon that can take a hit and fire back really hard, like Regirock and Mega Kangaskhan. So this team isn't perfect, but I'm pretty happy with it, and I'm definitely pleased with the way it turned out. Stay tuned. I hope to upload my battles for this league, and yeah, hopefully revive my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.